Brad, what is the latest on conditions there? We've seen it's a bit wet in Melbourne. How about in Sydney?
Yeah, good morning, Aidan. You're right, it has been a bit wet this week, but we had a really good drying day yesterday, which saw it upgraded to a soft 7 this morning. They are forecasting a few showers tonight and later this afternoon, so hopefully we get through the race meeting missing that downpour there, because I think there's a bit in it. But yeah, fingers crossed we get through, and we might even get an upgrade because it's another really nice day here in Sydney, about 27, 28 degrees, so we could be looking at a sip with a bit of luck.
Yeah, that's really encouraging. The feature is the Group 3 Nevison Stakes. How have you assessed this, Brad?
Yeah, it's not a bad little race. It's one of those even, tricky mares races where if you do like something, you're going to get a reasonable price, because it's about $5 the field. The one that I actually am keen on is Resin. Now, this horse is flying at the moment. I think a lot of your viewers out there will remember Beated. She was an absolute ripper. She's the mare of Resin. She won last start. She dropped back to midweeks to do this, but she really put a space in her rivals. This was against the boys and with 59 kilos. There's not much of her, so dropping back to 54 kilos despite being up in grade, I think, is a really big tick. The wet track, she loves the wet. The wetter the better, so if we do get any rain later in the day, upscale her further again. I think she's about $6.50 at the moment. I think that's a really good bet. I don't think you'll miss each way. As far as dangers go, I think Dyslexic for the Hawk stable is a really nice mare still on the way up, and do yourself a favour and go and have a look at her trial if you are doing the form for the race, because her latest trial was outstanding. She just got a little query about her on a wet track. And Pecans is your favourite. She's an honest kind of mare, but I think she's well enough found at around the $4.60 mark. So Resin is the one that I'm keen to play at the each way odds.
Okay, Tester World's New Zealand bred by Kelly Van Dyke, 5-year-old mare by Tester Rossa with Bjorn Baker. Can you give us any push for that horse at all, Brad?
Yeah, well, she's always in the money and she always flies fresh, so she's hard to discount. I imagine they'll try and roll forward because there's not a lot of speed in the race. And you look at her second there, first up last time in, behind Anatola. It actually broke the track record that day, so there is certainly a case to be made that she'll be somewhere in the money as well, Aidan.
Okay, yeah. What's the highlights on the rest of the card there in Sydney today, Brad?
Well, for me, I think there's a few interesting races. The Brian Crowley is not a bad little race. For the 3-year-old, it does look like a race in 2. I think the market pretty much says as much. That's race 6 on the card. You've got Roosevelt and Diplomatico, 2 really nice horses. They both come off dominant last start wins. I am leaning the way of Roosevelt in that particular race just because he ticks that wet track box. As far as best bets on the card, though, we'll go back a little bit further earlier in the card, and there's a staying event, the Tats City Club Cup over 2,400 metres, and it's hard to discount Highbridge here. I know he's really easy to find. He's about even money, but I think rightly so. He comes off a 4 in the Group 1 Metrop behind Patrick Aaron, who you guys know plenty about. Hopefully your viewers jumped on them on that particular runner there. He's good odds around in the Metrop. But Highbridge, I think, coming back from Group 1 company, very hard to beat here, 2,400 metres again. 4th up should be Cherry Ripe, and there's a bit of speed in this race. It's a little bit unusual for our staying races, so I think he just gets a nice tag into the race. It'd be too good for them at the finish. I know we can save one for a little bit later. First Hand in the 8th. Second up, this horse. I really like how it sets up for this particular runner from the Hawks camp. He resumed over 1,000 metres, which isn't really his go. Made some ground on the inside, and on that particular day on the Kensington track, it was an advantage to be a little bit off the fence, so we can scale that up a little bit further. There was merit in it. 2 from 2 on soft tracks. There's good speed in this race too. I think they'll break up a little bit. So despite the inside draw, he will need a little bit of luck. But I think they will string out, and he'll have his chance to rattle home over the top. And again, I think he's great each way odds at about the $6.50 quote.
Brad, just to recap, your bet of the day there in Sydney?
Yeah, so Highbridge for me is the bet of the day. That's race 4, number 4. I think we can have a good bet each way on Resin in the feature, the Nevison, race 7, number 9, and First Hand in the 8th, race 8, number 2. If you are looking for one in the lucky last to get out, the more I look at the race, the more I'm keen on right or wrong. It's not listed there in the best bets, but I think we can back it each way too at about the $5 mark. Okay,
and Brad, for you, who's going to win the Caulfield Cup?
Oh, geez, good question. I'm with the Sydney side, believe it or not. That's where my allegiances lie. Youngster, I think she's had the perfect prep into this, and as you would know, there's no form like Wink's form, so a close second to the superstar mare last start reads pretty well in the Turnbull.
Good on you, Brad. Thanks for joining us here on the Punters Lounge Live. Best luck with your selections today.